outside is frightful, but the fire, it's so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
So I'm spy number 4, also the other redhead spy. We're gonna get those mafia members.
Can you tell me about your character?
I was actually kidnapped. My character does not know why she is here, but she is very scared.
I see. Can you tell us about your character?
I'm just, I guess, an elf? I don't know. I don't know what I'm here.
Tell us about your character.
So my character is actually a dragon owner, and she owns dragons in order to develop her own flying machine so that she can fly over the mountains of her country.
Amazing. I love it.
The reason that Forrest is fighting for Prince Santa is that he doesn't like the communist agenda of King Santa. You see, when Forrest was a young boy, King Santa took my parents when an orphan asked for parents for Christmas. So he took mine and gave it to the orphan. And I want my parents back, so I'm fighting for justice.
Tell me about your characters.
We are aristocrats that were formally invited.
I also pushed Gavin out of a tree once.
And as I picked him up, we bonded.
Oh.
And so we grew very close.
He didn't like
because
me.
of her mistake.
Yeah.
But she was redeemed when she made very, very good cake.
Yeah.
Wow. Such an imposing mafia.
What are you doing? Karate chop time. It's karate chop.
Cowabunga it is.
Karate chop o'clock. Caleb doesn't know what's coming.
Okay, audio rolling, video rolling, action.
We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
I just heard a scene pop.
Offered himself as tribute.
I do martial arts. I've been choked out with me. No, you listen to me. No, listen. You listen.
Take one, action.
Nobody leaves the building.
Great.
Nature's gas pedal.
Triple shot energy.
Triple shot.
Dark
Thank
caramel.
you, Miss Grace Watts. Christmas tree business partner.
Thank you, Resource Exchange Association.
I drank one and
Also, Celsius tastes great. I drank half of it.
If you ask me, I think it's kind of ridiculous that the security codes. I looked at the camera.
Looks directly at the camera. I think it's ridiculous.
This is Ashton and Laser Maze, take 2, action.
I broke away from the party a couple minutes ago, but it's slow going trying to avoid King Santa's security measures.
Sure? Yep, we don't need audio, so that doesn't matter. Good thing we don't. All right, action.
I've got this. Your Highness, we would all love to participate in the traditional candy cane reel, if you approve.
Of course. Will be my pleasure. I just messed that up.
The arm was a good. The arm was good.
That was, yeah.
It's good. That made up for it.
All right, this is take 5 or something of Ashton and Laser Mage. Mage.
The Blazer Mage.
ICAZ. Laser.
That's bonus look.
Hello there. Now, if you watched Christmas Impossible at its premiere at Coffeehouse or here on YouTube, you may have found yourself thinking, wow, this 4-minute college student-produced skit video sure has a lot of lore. A communist Santa Claus with his own private elf military, rebel elves, spies, Christmas tree ornaments containing security codes. What kind of zany world is this? Well, you are correct. There is a lot of lore. Aren't you a smart one? And we're going to explain as much of that lore as we can in 5 minutes. This top-notch world building was accomplished by coercing collaboration from basically every single member of our cast and crew, so it was most certainly a team effort, and we hope you enjoy. Once upon a time, in a not-so-terribly fantasy future, the world was so consumerist, it was overrun with single-use plastics and Pack-My-Stanley TikToks and crumble cookie influencer scandals. Little Santa hated this so much. You see, in that world, the profession of Santa was inherited throughout the generations, since the original Chad St. Nicholas. Little Santa hated consumerism so much that when it came time for him to take over as Santa, he had a whole dang villain arc. He paid Russian scientists to engineer an artificial ice age, and no one in the northern hemisphere was prepared for it except him. His elf regiment, steampunk nutcracker robots, and candy cane shanks allowed him to annex multiple territories, including Iceland, which he renamed the Land of Sweets, Greenland, which he renamed Redland, the northern half of Canada, which he renamed the Winter Woods because of the 2011 Tinkerbell film Secret of the Wings. Additionally, he annexed most of Russia. He didn't rename that. Coffee Club Island, or Coffee Club Island, which he also didn't rename because Santa is a basic millennial who likes his coffee, as well as Christmas Island, because the kangaroos sided with him, and Ireland, because the leprechauns also sided with him. Together, these territories made up King Santa's Santa realm. The Santa realm was a miserable place. Since Santa maintained his toy factories, which were worked by political prisoners, the outside world didn't really care about the conditions in the Santa realm. As long as they got their Christmas products, they didn't want to visit Canada, or the Winter Woods. Sometimes people visited Ireland and Christmas Island, but King Santa maintained them as beautiful tourist destinations, so most people assumed that the Arctic Circle territories were like that too. They were not. All private businesses had to turn in most of their profits for governmental use, and there were breadlines for dry discarded gingerbread from the factories. Santa also abolished the naughty and nice lists in his territories, making everything equally mediocre, and that is what we call communism. Once, one of the Russian scientists' experiments gained sentience and attempted to whistleblow on the operation to NATO, but poor Rudolph was caught and his story was turned into a novelty children's Christmas song by the regime to cover up the truth. King Santa loved his steampunk factory aesthetic, so he outlawed Wi-Fi and all technology that didn't look Victorian. He had a Pinterest vision board, and by golly, he was going to stick to it. He only allowed small amounts of technology for the elves, such as walkie-talkies and cassette players, so they could listen to smooth jazz. Speaking of the elves, let's talk about them. The elf security, casually called the Elf Mafia, was the hottest, most sought-after job in the Santa realm. Many elf families hoped that their sons could become members of the elf security squad because it paid very well and came with many benefits. However, the Elf Mafia was Santa's secret police, and they did all of his dirty work. You see, elf is a magical species of magical being, the same species as leprechauns. Some leprechauns were even hired as Elf Mafia, as reparations for the annex of Ireland. Elves look pretty much like humans, except that for them, puberty is backwards. As babies, they all had beards and deep voices, and as they age, their voices get higher and they lose their beards. The Elf Mafia was trained to mingle at all social functions and make friends with all the aristocrats, so they could rat on any rebel sympathizers. This brings us to the story of Christmas Impossible and its cast of characters at the Holly Jolly Festival of Icicle Lights Candy Cane Lane Ball, the lore of which is so dang extensive that if we explained all of it to you right now, we would be here for literally 2 hours. We're serious. Every single extra in this entire dang short film, and some who were not in this short film, have a very fleshed-out backstory. So for now, just watch the short film, and in 10 years, when we get around to writing it, you can purchase and read the Christmas Rebellion trilogy, including The Christmas Rebellion, Christmas Impossible, The Christmas Rebellion, Noel's Escape, The Christmas Rebellion, Christmas Morning, and the prequel, The Christmas Rebellion, A Ballad of Cats and Reindeer, which details teenage King Santa's brief romance and subsequent conflict with the Snow Queen of the South Pole, Diamond Winterland. Now, let's get back to the show.
Shot. Take one. Action.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
I needed it to be at the same time.
Yeah. Placement shot. Action.
Going to avoid King Santa's security measures. Whoa! But I'm getting there. Just keep the elf security off my tail, okay?
All right. Yeehaw.